Nick Cartwright is a 27-year-old Democrat from Romance, Arkansas. He wants to be the district's new congressman. Cartwright hopes to oust our earlier guest, Congressman French Hill. Well, Nick, first of all, welcome to the program. Good to have you with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Roby.
Why would a 27-year-old from Romance, Arkansas want to dive into 2nd District congressional politics? Tell me why you're running.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of reasons why I'm running, Roby, but, I think for me it goes back to my family. You mentioned I'm from Romance, a small rural town. My parents are working class. They're both veterans. They both have at times had to work 2 jobs just to make ends meet. And, I feel like there's a lot of families in this district that are just like that. They're, working hard to make sure they can put food on the table for their family. We have to have representation in Washington that can understand those needs and fight for our communities that desperately need better representation.
Tell me what your fault is in the representation that you feel like Congressman French Hill is providing right now.
Yeah, so, for one, it's just the fact that he is a millionaire banker and he just doesn't understand the struggles that these families face. But, a lot of the times it's what typical politicians do. It's people going to Washington and not, fighting for the issues that people care about in their daily lives. They're playing politics. They're going to the border to, talk about the talking points that are given to them by leadership, but they're not in the district talking to the people and the issues that they care about.
Tell me what you feel like you have done in your background that kind of prepares you for running for Congress.
Yeah. So, I not only grew up in a rural community, but I've been a community organizer in communities across the state, working with towns to, strategically plan some of their economic and community development projects, helping public schools advocate for education at the state legislature. And I've also done policy work, whether that's been on issues like agriculture, helping to protect family farms, or economic justice, fighting for a fair tax code.
I don't have to tell you, you've watched the last couple of election cycles in Arkansas. First of all, Democrats have challenges to getting elected to office in the 2nd Congressional District. There's been 2 pretty strong political powerhouses that have run, Clark Tucker and Joyce Elliott. Why is it going to be different with Nick Cartwright?
Yeah, well, and I highly respect Senator Tucker and Senator Elliott. I've reached out to them for advice and let them know I'm running. I want to follow in their footsteps. I truly feel I stand on their shoulders. They've lived lives committed to public service, and I'm doing the same thing. I can only bring the experiences that I have to this race, and I feel like being from a rural community, maybe I can speak to some of the voters in the outlying counties. Redistricting hasn't happened yet, so we don't know what the map's going to look like, but I feel confident that I can bring my organizing background and policy work and really connect with the voters.
Better hope Romance stays in the Congressional District.
Absolutely.
There. You'll be running over in the 1st maybe, so we'll see about that. I guess give me 1 or 2 things that you've heard from constituents already that you think will be big platforms for you in your race.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, it's really going back to those everyday kitchen table issues. For me, I want to work on creating a workers' economy, making sure that our tax policy and our economic policy really focuses on, how do we get better jobs in this district? How do we increase wages for workers? And how do we combat climate change while also transforming our economy to do that?
So you advocate raising the federal minimum wage?
Yes.
To any particular level?
$15 would be nice, but higher, as long as it's tied to the cost of living. I feel like anybody working, 1 job should be able to take care of their family and pay their bills with the wage that job gives them.
On climate change, what do you advocate? Do you advocate the new Green Deal, or is there something else more specific?
Yeah, I would be supportive of the Green New Deal. I think that we have to look at what climate change is doing right here in Arkansas. We've seen extreme flooding that's hurting our farmers and hurting our businesses. We've seen extreme weather events that have really hurt our infrastructure. Things, whether we're talking about in Benton or Mayflower, they've had water pipes that have burst, especially earlier this year with that winter storm. And those are the things that a Green New Deal or just any kind of climate action that's centered on the economy can really take care of.
All right. He's Nick Cartwright. He is a Democrat running for 2nd Congressional District to challenge incumbent Congressman French Hill. Best of luck to you.
Thanks, Roby.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
That's Democratic congressional candidate Nick Cartwright. He's running for the 2nd district seat currently held by Republican Representative French Hill. You can catch more of our interview at talkbusiness.net. That is all for today's program. I'm Roby Brock. We'll see you next time.